Hey crafters, how are you today? It's time for another Inspiration Friday. So glad you could join me today. As you can tell by my background, I'm actually on vacation this week and we are out in the Pacific Northwest over on the east side of the mountain at Lake Roosevelt. But earlier this week, I did put together an Inspiration Friday project. And this week we are going to be doing some sublimation again, but this time I'm going to show you how to do it on wood and how to do it on some polyester yard signs. I can't wait to show you. But hey, if this is your first time stopping by my channel, thanks so much for stopping by. Make sure you click on that subscribe button and click on the bell, and YouTube should alert you each time I upload a new video. So give me a second, let me get my camera angle changed, and I'm going to join you in Design Space so I can show you how I first put together the design for my project, and then I'm going to show you how you can sublimate on wood and how you can sublimate on some flags for your yard. I did these for camping. You can do them for whatever you would like. So give me a second, get my camera angle changed, and I will join you in Design Space. And I want to show you how I'm using the print then cut feature to do my sublimation design. So I've already got my design done, but I'm going to redo some of it because I really want to show you some of the elements that I like to use. So the very first thing I always like to do is I like to place an image that is the same size as the wood I'm working with. Okay, so my size of wood, I need to take off the proportion. My size of wood is got a width of 12 inches and it's got a height of 5.5. Okay, so we're going to start there just like I did right here. Okay, and I'm going to kind of move this one out of the way so we don't get confused, and we'll come up here with the design we're going to be working with today. I'm going to go ahead and turn it to white. I think that's always easier for me to look at when I'm looking at a sign. Okay, so what I did is I went out to images and I just said camping. I wanted to come up with something for a camping design, and I really like this happy camper. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and just insert it. But I want to show you a couple tricks you can do when you're using the print then cut. Now this trick that I'm going to show you is not available if you guys are using the print. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go up to my basic cut functions and I'm going to turn this to a standard print then cut. Okay, what I want to show you is now up in my color options, I have got a drop down next to my color, and that's where I can pick a pattern. Okay, and as you guys can see down below here in this design, I have got some ombre looking color going with my design. So what I like to do is you can scroll through all the different designs that Design Space has, but I knew that I wanted something in the blue color. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and click on blue, and then it's going to give me all my different options for a design. And I picked this design to add to my, my image. And as you can see, now it's got that really beautiful blue hues to it that's going. Okay, so that's the first thing. The next thing I want to show you is you can do the exact same thing with text. And so I'm going to go ahead and put the Wielanders, because this is going to be a sign that I'm going to use at our campsite. And the first thing I want to do is I want to get that lined up with the image of the happy camper. So I'm going to go ahead and go up to a line and I'm going to put center horizontally. Okay. Then what I thought would be cute is I'm going to take the Wielander and I'm going to curve that. So I'm going to just play with how I like the curve. Oops, a little bit too much there. And maybe we'll just make that just a little bit bigger there. Okay, and let's just play with this just a little bit. And I'm going to go back up to that curve and I'm just going to do it just a little wider. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to negative 7.50 and let's see how that looks. Okay, think I want to still go in a little bit. I think I'm going to make my font just a tiny bit bigger, and that might help me a little bit. Okay, so again, I'm going to center this. Whoops, forgot to grab both my images. So I got both my images. I'm going to do an align. Oops, I'm not even clicking the right things today. Sorry, I don't want to get you guys mixed up. So I'm going to go ahead and grab on my text again, and I'm going to hit that curve. And we're just going to go just right about there. That looks great to me. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up and do the exact same thing. I'm going to change this to a print then cut. And once I do that, then in my drop down, I've got the same option to go to a pattern. Okay, I'm going to go to pattern. I'm going to do filter. I'm going to go to my blue, and I'm going to scroll down to that design again. So that way I have got both my happy camper and the Weelanders in the same color. Okay. Now the other thing that I want to do is I also want to attach these. Okay. Because when I do my print then cut, I want these to be together. Okay. So if I go to my layers tab, okay, and I am going to say weld them. Okay. So those are all set and ready to go. Okay. Now if we go back to my original design, you can see we love doing our campfires and we love having a few cocktails when we're camping. So I want to show you what I did with the fire here, and I'm going to go ahead and do an image there again, and I scroll down until I saw that image. Let's scroll down till we find it again, and it's right down here and it's right there. But if you guys notice, when I go in for my image right now, it's all one color. If I were to change it to yellow, it all goes to yellow, okay? And you can see down below, I've got a little bit of it brown, okay? So this is where we're going to use our contour feature, okay? And I'm going to go in and I'm going to say hide the flame, okay? And if I hide the flame, you guys are going to see I only have the fire, okay? But I missed one step. What I want to do, I just did the undo button, you guys. What I want to do is I want to duplicate this image first, okay? So I'm going to duplicate it, and it's going to be a two-step process. I'm going to go down to my concur, and I'm going to say hide the wood, okay? So now I've just got the flame. Here, I'm going to go to my concur, and I'm going to say hide the flame, okay? And now I've got my wood, okay? And now what I can do is I can go up and I can change my wood to brown, okay? So then what we can do is we are going to group these together so that when it comes through, we will be ready to go. We also want to change this to a print then cut, okay? Because remember, we're doing this with sublimation, okay? And then the next one I did is I just did a little cocktail there. So that one I really didn't make any changes to. So all I did is go out and search cocktails, and there's just so many different options out there available to you that you can grab for a design. And if I just scroll down here, it's not the exact same one I have there, but I'm just going to insert this one just to show you. Okay. I've got this, and it is already coming in as a print then cut, okay? So then I would be totally ready to go, okay? What's going to happen with the print then cut is we're going to have 3 separate designs show up, okay? So just to clean this up, I'm going to get rid of the ones that we just did, okay? And we're going to work with what I have right here, okay? So these are the designs I have ready to go. Now, once I am done designing and I know that this is all going to fit on my page, I am going to actually get rid of that white, okay? Because these are all set, as you can see, these are all going to be set to print then cut, okay? And we can see that in our panel on the side, okay? So what I'm going to do is I am going to get rid of that design, okay? And then we're going to go over to make it, and you guys are going to see that each one of my designs is all ready to go. So I'm going to go ahead and say continue, and I am going to send this to my printer, okay? Now, I have my Epson 7210 already set up for sublimation, okay? And you guys will notice that when I go over, it is going to flip, okay? So I always take my bleed off, and I always turn on my system dialog, okay? And when I say print, you guys are going to notice that all of my features for my 7210 are going to come up. And you guys see I already have my sublimation printer set to mirror image, so I never have to worry about it. So you can see the words are all backwards, okay? I also have my print set up to do a match with the type of sublimation ink that I use, and I've also got my print settings set up for exactly what I'm using, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and send this over to my printer, and I will meet you back with my heat press, and I am going to show you how we can sublimate this on a piece of wood for my campsite sign. Okay, crafters, so I got my print then cut off of my printer, and now we are going to talk about how we're going to put it on this wood sign. So let's talk about how you prep wood. I did a tutorial a couple months ago where I used lamination paper. Today, what I want to show you is how you can use polyacrylic on wood to be able to put a sublimation print down. So I want to show you a couple tests that I did. So these are two designs that I put on. I put a coat of polyacrylic down, I let it dry completely, and then I did a test at 400 degrees for 60 seconds and 400 degrees for 90 seconds. They both turned out about the same. I also did a test on the other side. This was my first test, and I painted the wood white first. Then I went ahead and did the polyacrylic, and I had definitely some ghosting here. This one didn't turn out quite as well. I did look, and my wood is bowed a little bit, and I think that's what caused some of the problem here. So you want to look really close at your wood because you need to get a nice solid press down with your heat press to get it to adhere. So today what I'm going to do is I picked up this cute little whitewash board at Walmart, and I've already put a coat of polyacrylic on it, okay? So I've let that dry. That is the key, you guys. You want to make sure that it's completely dry, because if you end up having any of it still even damp when you put on the design, it is definitely going to pull off, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I am going to cut out my design, okay? And I apologize if you guys can hear that in the background. My dog has found a toy that has got a squeaker on it. So she is having a heyday with that. So I'm hoping that you guys can't hear that right now. So I'm going to go ahead and cut out the designs. Okay, and just like I've shown before on t-shirts, is I still like to have that soft edge whenever I'm doing anything with sublimation. So I'm going to carefully tear around my design, and then what we're going to do is we're going to adhere the design onto my board with my heat resistant tape, okay? I've already got my heat press heating up to 400 degrees, okay? And we are going to do this for 90 seconds. So I'm anxious to see how it turns out, I should say. And then I wanted to let you guys know, as a bonus, I printed just the smaller, Happy Camper sign, and I'm going to show you how I can put that on a nylon flag. So just another idea on how you can do some signs. So lots of different ways you can do sublimation. I love being able to use Cricut Design Space to do my designs. I think I said before, I also use Canva a lot for my designs. Designing in there and printing, it definitely gives me the option to print much larger designs than Design Space has for me. But this sign worked out perfect using Design Space. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to take my design. I want to make sure it's the right direction, okay? And I am going to eyeball it. Now, one way that I like to eyeball is I use my Cricut ruler, and I know exactly where 6 inches is. I'm going to fold this in half, okay? And then I can eyeball right at my 6 inches, okay? Really want to make sure this adheres. This one's going to be an interesting one, you guys, how this goes on, because there is grooves in this wood. It's definitely a weathered wood. So I'm anxious to see what it's going to look like when we get it all out. So it's the first time I've done it on this type of wood before. So, so we're gonna see this together. So I remember I did that cute little camp site symbol too. So we're gonna get it taped on. I wanna get it on nice and good. And then we're gonna layer it on the heat press to help get the adherence also. But the tape definitely makes a difference, you guys. So take your time and get your tape on your designs, and then we will move over to the heat press. Okay, so just about got it there. I've got a sheet of butcher paper on my heat press right now, and I'm going to put this design face up, okay? And so I'm gonna put another piece of paper down. So my heat press is just about up to heat, okay? So I'm gonna put my design right there. I'm gonna take another piece of butcher paper and we're gonna put it right on top, okay? I'm gonna bring this over, and my sign fits perfectly right in my heat press. So as soon as that comes up to heat, we'll go ahead and get that started. So as a reminder, I did the polyacrylic. This is Minwax polyacrylic, and this is a clear matte finish. They do have a gloss finish too, but I went with the clear matte finish. The other one I'm excited to try out is I went ahead and did it on some of these wood rounds. So this is another idea of what you could do with these designs. And I thought what I was going to do with those is I picked up 4 of them in a package, and I think what I'm going to do is make some little coasters that I can have at the campsite also. So that'll be another fun one to try, and I'll make sure at the end of the video I'll show you what these all look like. So should be another good sublimation test. So we're just about up to heat. As soon as we're up to heat, we're going to get this engaged 400 degrees, 90 seconds, and I'll join you back and I'll let you know what it looks like. Okay, you guys, my timer has went off. I'm going to release it. What I am going to do is, Lisa forgot to get her heat resistant gloves on. I'm definitely going to go put those on because this is going to be a hot one. Okay, take it off. And let's see how we look. Now, one thing I will tell you guys is that, oops, okay, we've got a fail there. Okay, that one didn't come very well. Guess I don't need my gloves. It's not as hot as I thought it was going to be. So let's see. This one looks good. What I've got happening, you guys, is, and I'm going to do this on another sign, the white paint is starting to pull up, okay? So where this would again bowed, okay? And so I can definitely see where the white paint is pulling up, and where the white paint has pulled up, you can barely read our sign. So I've also done, I've also put the polyurethane on another board. So we're gonna try out our second board, and always like to share with you guys if I have a fail, so you guys can see that it definitely does happen to me. I've got lots of different tests that I've done along the way. Now it looks like our little camp sign turned out pretty good, okay? So that's what we've got right now. Now I will tell you what I am gonna go do is I am gonna go grab some a spray bottle with some water, and I'm gonna rub off some of the film so we can see maybe this doesn't look as bad as what I think it does. So give me a second, I'm gonna grab some water and we'll check it out together. Okay, you guys, I didn't have a spray bottle of water handy, but I do have some Windex. So I am just going to see if we can get this to work out for us. It definitely has got a rustic look to it. There's no doubt about it. And definitely have a little bit of the paint that is coming off. So if you like the weathered look, I guess you could say this one turned out okay. But I want to try it on these other boards that I got. So I also picked up these cute little boards, and this is how it started out, okay? And then this is just with a straight white chalk paint on it. And then this, I've got some polyacrylic already painted on it, and it's all nice and dry. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab another design. I'm gonna have to make it a tad bit smaller to fit on these signs, but we're gonna try and see what it looks like. Okay, so give me a second. I'm gonna go run back to my printer and grab the print of this Happy Camper, and let's check it out together. Okay, so let's try this one again, you guys. I went ahead and printed out the Happy Camper and the Wheelander. Lisa did not print them the right size though, so I had to do a little bit of cutting. So we're gonna go ahead and adhere them to the wood, just like we did before, okay? And we are gonna do our 400 degrees, and then we're gonna see what this one looks like. And then I've got the flag ready to go, and we'll get that one done so you guys can see that you can use print then cut for all kinds of different options. This wood one is a fun one though, because you don't think about being able to sublimate on wood. And I know there's a lot of products out there online that you can purchase that are specific for sublimation, but I love being able to run to my local hardware store to get the things that I need. So I am really adding the tape on this one so I can make sure it's nice and secure, okay? We're gonna go ahead and do exactly like we did before. I've got my piece of paper on the bottom. I've got my piece of paper on top. Double that up. And we're going to engage it for 90 seconds. While that's going, I want to show you the flag though, because this is our bonus one that we're going to do. So I printed out the Happy Camper and the Wheelanders again, and I picked up these yard flags at Amazon, okay? And so what I'm going to do there is we are going to, for 400 degrees again, we're going to do it for 60 seconds. We're going to go ahead and put that design right on there, okay? So don't want to start it yet though, because one of the things you want to do is give this a good press. And as you guys can see, I got it out of the packaging and there's a little bit of a wrinkle in it right now. So we're going to go ahead, and as soon as our wood is done, we will get started on putting together this one. So I'll join you back as soon as the wood is done. Okay, it's just about ready to beep on me. I'm gonna put one of my gloves on this time. We're going to bring it up and let's see if we had success this time with our wood. Definitely got some heat going on there. So let's see how this one turned out. definitely a little hot. I'm going to grab my little tool here. Paper's not wanting to come up very easy. So I think what I'm going to have to do is get it wet, which we definitely can do. The very first time I ever did wood, I thought I had a complete fail because I couldn't get my paper up. When in turn, all I needed to do was to get it wet, just to get it to release. So we are going to do that. Okay, so again, I don't have water handy, but I do have Windex. Okay, so I'm going to give it a, and look at that, peels right up then. So you guys can start to see that it's coming, and my paper is pulling right up. Okay, so I'm just going to give it a spray here. I'm going to take my paper towel and I'm going to wipe it, and we have got a complete success here, you guys. So there you have it. Look at that. So as a reminder, this board started out like this. I did do some chalk paint on it, and then I put a coat of the polyacrylic on it, and then we sublimated on it for 90 seconds at 400 degrees. Okay, so now let's do that same design on a garden flag. Let me, Lisa, get her mess out of here. Again, I just want to show you different options that you guys can do. Okay, so let's take our garden flag. Let's get a new piece of paper in here. Don't want to take any chance of something coming across. Okay, I'm going to put my garden flag in there, and then I am going to put another piece of paper on top of it. You're going to press it for about 10 seconds. Okay, give it a good nice press, and I should be using a lint roller on it, but Lisa's lint roller is missing, so apologize for that. You definitely, best practice is always to lint roll. Okay, I'm going to bring my design over here, and I am going to line it up. I'm going to make sure I've got it right side up, and I'm going to use some of my tape again. That's why I have it on a roller tape dispenser. Okay, so I'm adding that on all four sides, and this time I got to change my setting on my heat press, because this time we're only doing it for 60 seconds. Nylon is definitely does not need as much, and I definitely don't want to burn. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing here. Okay, I'm going to put my, on top of my one sheet of butcher paper, I've got my design face down. I'm going to put a cover sheet on it. Whoops. And we're going to bring it across, and we're going to give it a press, and we're going to do this one for 60 seconds. Okay, so as always, you guys, I'm going to make sure I put all the links down below for all the products that I've been using. A lot of my products come from Amazon, and just as a reminder, I do have an Amazon storefront. So if you click on the links below, they are affiliate links, but I sure would appreciate it if you take a look at my store there. So just give us a couple minutes here. We got about 30 seconds. I'd love to hear your guys' comments on what type of things that you like to sublimate on. So down below in the comments, why don't you guys let me know what type of products you're sublimating on? I've been trying to do a wide range of different things just so you guys could see what options are out there. But if there's something that you'd like me to try out, I would definitely love to hear from you guys. So click on down below. Also, if you're not a subscriber, please subscribe and hit that bell, and YouTube should alert you each time I upload a new video. Guess what? Sounds like this one's ready. Let's take a peek. See what our flag looks like. I got a peek. Ooh, looks good, you guys. This is exciting. Oh yeah, So look at that. Look at all the different things that you could do for signs, you guys. I just love this. Now this one, I did do kind of that ombre look on it, so it does have a little bit of that in the design. You guys could have so much fun designing. This test one I did with the wood, I actually brought in a picture behind it. So that's another option. So all kinds of things you guys could do. So I will give you guys a close-up view of all these projects we did today, both sublimating on nylon signs and using the polyacrylic to be able to sublimate on wood. So thanks so much for joining me. I'll see you next Friday. And here's a close-up view of our happy camper on that little wood sign. And then here is the flag, and that's that nylon flag that I purchased from Amazon. And I did get a chance to do the little wooden coasters, and I couldn't wait to show you how great they turned out. So I'm so glad you joined me for another Inspiration Friday. And here is all of our successful projects. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And don't forget to check out my blog at funstuffcrafts.com for other DIY type projects.